Hello, and welcome to Lauren's Ghetto Salon, where we use professional products and do hair in my bathroom. So, this is Stefan. He's gonna, or Gamer Guy, if you know him, right? So, he's never colored his hair before, and he's decided he wants to go silver. No idea how this is gonna turn out, but having never colored his hair before, that's the only saving grace.
I've never done anything in my hair. The only thing that's been in my hair has been gel and mousse.
The only saving grace we have is that his hair, being as dark as it is still virgin hair.
It is virgin.
So hair. Nothing.
I'm a virgin.
Alright, we couldn't stop messing around, so I'm just gonna voice over this thing. I started off using a blue-toned lightener from Kenra with 30 volume developer. I originally used it in a 1-to-1 ratio, but found it was far too thick for my liking, so I added more developer until it was a desirable mashed potato-like consistency. You want to be very careful using a higher volume developer with lightener because it acts very quickly and can do intense damage to the hair. The reason I use straight 30 is because his hair is very dark, coarse, resistant, and short, so I can afford to move quickly and use a higher volume developer. I don't recommend using straight 30 on any hair that is light, fine, or chemically treated in any way. Now I'm putting a plastic cap on his hair to keep the heat from his head in and help the lightener process faster. Most of the time I don't have to do this at all, but his hair is lightening pretty slow, and I don't want to leave it on his scalp for too long, so we're speeding up the process a little bit. I'm also checking periodically to make sure he isn't experiencing any burning, intense itching, or discomfort in any way. I think it's also a good point to mention that I'm wiping all of the excess lightener that might be on his skin and not on his hair, because I don't want it to irritate any of his open skin either.
Open it up for a little more ventilation in here.
Matt, come look at this bullshit. Make it. Look what happens when she puts it down.
Yeah, you might want to.
That is hell yeah.
Nah, taping it. Don't worry. All this comes out in editing or whatever.
So what do you think?
It's getting.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that there's a bunch of white in your hair, so you should definitely keep that in the video.
Cut! Okay. Cool, so we're this nice orangey yellow color. So the only thing that I'm worried about at the moment is that the toner won't do enough, or that it's not quite light enough. I would like to have lightened it through all of the orange, but the stores are closed, and this is what we got. So we're gonna tone the shit out of it.
So for the toner I used some leftover matrix, although it's not my favorite. I used a 1-to-1 ratio of 10A and 10P with 10 volume developer. Normally a toner only takes between 5 to 15 minutes to get the desired tone, but this was an extreme case, so it essentially turned into a complete color process, and we ended up leaving it on for about 45 minutes while checking it periodically.
So here we are after toning. It's definitely a lot less yellow than it was, but it's still not as cool as I would like it, and it's also not as light as I would like it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try it, since I got a little bit darker gray silver color anyway. So we're gonna try it.
Oh, you did?
See
Did
how
you? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got the 8 instead of the 10. So we're gonna try it and see how it works, and if it doesn't work, he's gonna wear a beanie to work tomorrow to cover his hair. And we're gonna go through this whole process again tomorrow to try to get it a little lighter, get it through that yellowy stage. Cause he's still, he's still pretty good. He still's got pretty good hair integrity. Yeah, so it's kind of experimental. We'll see. Could work better than expected, could, not. Fuck nuggets. Fuck nuggets.
Fuck nuggets.
Now for the fun part, the gray silver. So I didn't realize this until after the fact, but it probably would have been in my favor to mix a little violet intensifier in to help the color be more metallic and tone it just a bit more. But as I said before, it was late, the stores were closed, so we had what we had. I used Kenra's 8SM with 30 volume in an attempt just to get it a little lighter in a 1-to-1 ratio. We let this process for 45 minutes.
Alright.
45 minutes? Do we need some time?
See y'all in 45 minutes. Okay, so this is after everything's done. We still have to cut it, and we talked about it a little bit. So not exactly what we were hoping for, and it's still, I would have liked to see it toned a little better, or taken a little lighter. But it's not horrible. So I think what we're gonna do is cut it, see how we feel when everything's done, and maybe leave it like this for this time around, and then build up his hair strength again. And when we have to redo it, we'll take it later then. So it'll be like a lighter silver next time. But we'll see, so we're gonna do the haircut.
Since you can't really see what I'm doing very well, I'm not going to go into specifics about how I cut his hair. If you'd like a tutorial on how I cut it, let me know and I'll see if there's a better way I can record it. Basically, I did a 1-to-2 fade using BGR cordless clippers and Oster detachable blades. After that, I cut the top using scissors, cutting a little bit longer than my natural finger width and preserving length towards the front, while cutting his cowlick in the back down to finger width. I then blended the sides and the top together using a 1A clipper over comb technique and used a scissor over comb to texturize using my thinning shears. I cleaned up around his ears and squared his neckline, leaving the corners slightly rounded to prevent wings when it grows in more, and then I started in on his beard. It's even harder to show you what I did with his beard because I had to stand directly in front of him, blocking off the camera. But basically, I used a 2 all over to shorten it, and then I used my trimmers to line him and very, very carefully cut away strays, as well as straighten out above his lip.
No, I don't think anyone else would have gotten this result.
Guy Tang would have gotten better. Guy Tang is an omnipotent hair guy.